For the next 3 weeks, our commitment to you is making sure your voice is heard this election. Your voice is your vote, and we want to amplify voices in our local communities. ABC Action News anchor Heather Lee joins us live now from Papa's New York Diner in Clearwater. Good morning to you, Heather. Did some research on Papa's. It says it is the best diner in Clearwater.
Yeah, good morning to you, Dia. So yes, our plan is to be out here basically all morning speaking with voters, speaking with folks as they come into the diner, grab a bite to eat, maybe get some coffee and wake up this morning. And you know what better place to do that than at a diner? A lot of folks come here for their morning coffee every single morning. And groups come here oftentimes for their monthly meetings. It's just a perfect spot to talk about the issues. Now, lives are changed yearly in our state as hurricanes and rising water threaten our local communities. And the city of St. Pete has been doing a lot, investing millions really, to deal with those issues. But for now, insurance is really the only true way that people can protect themselves and their belongings, their household. The insurance crisis in our state is making that really hard, and it's a big talker for voters right now. So how do you know if your policy is really going to pay out when you need it?
Heavy rain drenched the Shore Acres neighborhood, and not even 24 hours later, several storm drains remained at capacity, overflowing back into the street.
Shore Acres always floods.
Graham Jackson is used to seeing his neighbors' waterlogged belongings curbside. Last year, he says it happened twice.
I don't know what the solution is, really.
One street over, Sean Applebaum owns this home. He bought it in 2021, knowing it flooded in 2019.
The owner had lived here since the early 90s, and that was the only time it had ever flooded, so I was like, oh, I'll take my chances.
But after a recent hurricane, his house flooded.
I mean, it got about 6 inches in the house.
His kitchen and bathrooms had to be gutted.
They usually take about 3 feet or so, cut at the wall.
Yeah.
And the entire house got ripped out. All drywall, all everything.
He says dealing with insurance took about 4 to 5 months, but in the end,
my work order from the contractor was around about $95,000, and I got $105 from insurance. So, I mean, it ended up, covering it and more.
And that's the goal, right? If you're paying in every month for property insurance and even flood insurance, you want to make sure companies are stepping up and paying out when you need it.
Check the details. Have your agent walk through them with you.
Mark Friedlander with the Insurance Information Institute says if you're currently on Citizens, that's extremely important as it removes policies, 132,445 to be exact. You should check that takeout offer carefully. Some policies are now being written with depreciation factored into portions of the dwelling coverage. It's called actual cash value. He says normally that's what personal belongings are written as. Property is typically written as replacement cost value, which means if you lost your roof or your garage door, it would be replaced at what it's worth today.
Some Florida insurers are writing policies with the depreciation for your roof. So say your roof is 5 years old, you're not going to get the full value for that.
I mean, how do you know how long? Depreciation of a roof over 20 plus years, it's tough to, and they're the ones telling you what that value is.
Friedlander says work with your insurance agent. Have them read over the takeout offers to see what's covered and how.
It's more than just cost. Don't just go on the cost. Okay, this is a better deal. I'm going to go with company A now because it's a good takeout offer.
For flood insurance, property is usually written as replacement cost coverage and contents are actual cost value. But again, it's smart to double check. Some private flood insurers may have the option to switch your entire policy to RCV. The Insurance Information Institute did a study showing replacement costs gradually went up 55% between 2020 and 2022. The lesson here, homeowners are underinsured and aren't upgrading their policies with inflation in mind.
And if you have not upgraded your policy in recent years, you're going to have a big gap.
It's why he says you should double check the full replacement cost for your home and make sure what's in your policy is enough. Back in Shore Acres, for sale signs are everywhere. Applebaum moved back to St. Louis in April. He's had his house on the market ever since with no luck. He's even bumped the price down to below what he bought it for.
People are fed up, for sure.
Tired of stripping out their house and replacing their furniture.
Insurance issues absolutely on voters' minds as they cast a ballot this November.
Now, there is a lot more to come from Clearwater. Coming up, I'm going to learn about the big issues facing people living in northern Pinellas County's neighborhoods.